Hey you guys, I hope you guys are doing well. So I'm going to do your weekly reading. My regulars know that I missed last Sunday's reading. I've been doing that more and more because, as I explained in a previous video, I do readings for a living, so those take precedence over the free YouTube readings. If you'd like a private reading, my contact information is in the description box. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with the channel. Thanks for your likes and your subscriptions. Thank you to my patrons. I love you guys. All of that support does help me, keep going and keep making these videos, okay? So with that being said, it's been a while since I did and how do they feel for you reading. Unfortunately, I am not able to do it like live on camera because, well, for one thing, I'm exhausted, and another thing, I have to be available for work. So for me to be available for work, I can't go and set up in my little YouTube video recording reading area right now. So what we're going to do instead is, you're just going to hear the sound of my voice as I do the readings, okay? So I pre-shuffled the cards, obviously, and I meditated on them, and I have them here. So for everyone who chose group 1, your person's feelings, how they feel for you, okay? So this is how I did it, and I'll just like name the card placements as I go. So I pulled a card to represent you, group 1, for whoever this reading is for. It's a general reading. Just take what resonates and forget what doesn't. Remember, the energies can be vice versa or interchangeable, so apply it how it resonates if it does, okay? But the card that came out when I asked the cards, to give me a card to represent the viewer, we got 5 of Pentacles for group 1. So yeah, guys, you came up as 5 of Pentacles, so you're feeling at a loss. I'm sorry to hear that. The 5 of Pentacles, for those who know tarot, it's not the happiest looking card. It's got somebody who's feeling, down, dejected, and rejected, right? Left out in the cold. That's typically that, what that card's energy is. So to some extent, though, you're feeling at a loss, perhaps regard to this person of interest that you're here to the video for, or just something else in your life. So generally, this is not a particularly happy indicator when it comes to love questions, unfortunately, right? This could show that you have your eye on your person, but you feel like they're not, treating you the way that they should. And, it could even be Spirit's way of saying that, you need to stop fantasizing about this person entirely for some, not all, but I'm getting that message. So as you know, I keep it real and say what I need to say and what I'm getting, and that is what I'm getting. So if you're in this 5 of Pentacles energy, if it's costing you your peace of mind, it's not worth it, okay? Take a break from fantasizing or thinking about this person entirely, or maybe you just quit it entirely. It could be a message from Spirit for some that, hey, if you already know that this is something you should drop, then drop it, all right? Others of you, this card is simply just about, you're feeling left out in the cold with regard to the situation. So it's just like very important that you remember that, there's never only one person or one version of a person, if you want to get technical, that we can be with and have a soul level, happy, meaningful relationship with, okay? So just remember that. And, when the love is right, you don't have to do backflips to make it work, right? So some of you, if you are feeling like you're putting a ton of effort, you're efforting, like that's my word of the week. If you're efforting a lot, to say this word to my clients sometimes, when they're applying themselves, reprogramming their subconscious mind, doing affirmations, doing the things that are necessary to align themselves with better versions of people, not just love interests, although that's mainly what it is because that's what's on their mind, but in all respects, then there's a certain amount of shifting that needs to take place, and it should not feel like a whole lot of effort. It shouldn't feel like a whole lot of work, although the more resistance you feel, just like when you start any new habit, the more resistance you feel to doing it, the more you likely need to do it if that is truly your goal, right? But others are taking it too far in the sense of just doing too much with regards to this person, towards this person, or something like that. So again, this is general. If it doesn't apply that part, you can ignore that part. But the basic message here from Spirit is that they want you to broaden your horizons and just try very hard to think positively. You know, our thoughts create, that's a fact. It's the law of the universe, like gravity, our thoughts create. So think positively about the situation, have positive inner conversations with your person of interest. No arguing with them, no telling them off or thinking of the things that you should have said or did, you know, to get back at them or whoever, you know. It is about thinking positively. And so what you're being guided to do with this card, you are not an unlovable troll, okay? Obviously, so just get that out of your mind. If you're feeling low or down on yourself, just know that there are a lot of fish in the sea. And even if you still want this person, no matter what, because I know a lot of you do, you know, you deserve love too, okay? So your person, how are they coming across? Group 1's person of interest came out as the Fool, okay? So you could be an earth sign, don't have to be. The Fool represents Aquarian energy. Again, it's the energy that is important. So what does this mean with regard to, just like the reading, your person coming across as the Fool? This could indicate that they aren't ready for a commitment, right? The Fool is footloose and fancy-free, likes to take a leap of faith on adventures. They could be coming out of something, starting over in life in some respect, in some way. But regardless of scenario, you know, it's pretty clear that they're probably not ready to commit, at least not yet. So, you know, you could be, I feel like some of you could be, or could have been, could be applied how it resonates. For whoever this message is for, when I mentioned doing backflips a moment ago, some of you are putting all that effort into trying to get this person to commit by pressing them somehow, you know, pressing them, or there are other people putting pressure, you know, pressure on them. There's something about pressure here for somebody. So even though, you know, you or others may be pressuring or pressing this person, now is not the right time to pressure them or press them for commitment. That's a very strong message coming through for somebody. You know, there's nothing wrong with having fun. And the Fool card, you know, is a positive sign for love in general, which is good. You know, so this can be a fun connection for some of you. But it just looks like this person, this is their energy, you know, they want to have they want to have fun. And this is, you know, this is what they want right now in a relationship, just non-committal energy, wanting to have fun. And you know, maybe you're wrapped up in this too. I don't know, you know, it depends on who's watching. Some are in contact, some are no contact. We've got all different kinds of scenarios going on, but the main message with this regarding your person is that they do have the desire to have fun. And when somebody is in this energy, it does make them overlook, you know, the real things that they should be paying attention to. So when they see like the real thing, like you could very well be this person's soulmate, the right one, the real thing, and they overlook it and don't see it because they're in the mindset of just wanting to have fun. So when they're wrapped up in that having fun, you know, it can be, you know, easy to overlook the possibilities in this relationship. So, you know, true love is just not always instant, so they need to make sure they're aware that that it could be creeping up. So you could be the one, This is not a signification or significator that you are not the one, that this person is non-committal or not wanting to commit to you. It's just that they're not in a mind frame to recognize that. Okay? Whoever that is, it could be flip-flop. Somebody out there listening is like, that's me. Yeah, well, okay, I see you. But for the majority, it's like I said, that's your person. So now down to brass tacks with your person, their feelings, right? That's what you came to the reading for. How do they feel about you? Okay, I got a couple cards on that. So we got the Knight of Wands. Blame it on the Casanova and his magic spell. This is a highly sexualized card, so it can mean that your person views you as mainly like a sexual I don't want to objectify you, and you guys, like, who have watched my channel know how direct I can be, so just take it with a grain of salt. But like a sex object, right? This is Knight of Wands. He's the player of the deck, right? If there is a player of the deck, then, you know, he is one of them. Wands, the knights don't tend to stick around. They come in and out. They ride on a horse. That's the reason why it's symbolic of movement, coming in and out. So, and since Wands is a sign of, like, is the element of passion, then this shows that somebody that likes to come in and out for passion, right? So this is not somebody that is seeing you as a potential, like, serious partner. or marriage partner at this time, right? So being forewarned is being forearmed. You're being told here, and this is in alignment with their full energy, and probably why you came out in Five of Pentacles if this is your reading. This person is not wanting to take you seriously. And so for some of you, you know, this is fine. Like, you're into it. You enjoy the physicality of the connection for those who are in contact, or, you know, for that reason, or otherwise, then you're fine with that. But this card can be a warning that the Knight has plenty of physical feelings towards you, but isn't looking for anything long term, doesn't see you as somebody that's going to fill that role for them in the future, right? Again, they're not in the mindset to see you in that way. So that's being, you know, I guess, revalidated again with this card. And for some of you, this may be someone new that's coming in. So if it doesn't sound like the person you're dealing with, it could be somebody new that's coming in, so be aware of that. Or this could be a newer connection, the person that you're watching the reading for. Also, if that's not it, and remember, lots of people are watching, listening, so I'm throwing out scenarios for the different people who are watching. These are their messages. Take what resonates, forget what doesn't. Some of you met this person through work, okay, or could be meeting somebody new through work. So if you didn't meet this person through work, and you're kind of full of their, you know, fed up with their bullshit, then, you know, be on the lookout. You could be meeting somebody through work, and they may or may not have the qualities that I've just described. But it's always good to be, you know, cautiously optimistic with regard to love, right? Again, your thoughts create, so you want to be careful what you're thinking and how you're labeling people, but also respond accordingly, and make sure people are treating you with proper respect. If this is somebody that you are in contact with for very odd few, or, you know, were committed to or are committed to, you just want to make sure that your communication is as clear as can be, and then just make a point to make time to just talk to each other. Some of you just need to communicate more. You're not talking a sufficient amount, or when you do, there are miscommunications happening. So it's important to make sure that you're listening well, and that your partner knows it's important to you that they listen well in return, and that you're hearing each other. So doing this will improve the feelings of closeness substantially in the connection. So more feelings for you from your person. What else do they feel? We also got the Queen of Wands, so lots of fiery wands, passionate energy here. This person, okay, this came out a little bit twisted, as in, like, some of this message applies to the viewer, and some of it applies to their person, right? I get this person just feels like you aren't in the mood to be on your own, right? Maybe you're getting out, maybe you're mingling more, maybe you're beginning to trust yourself more, coming to that Queen of Wands confidence. They're seeing this somehow, okay? That you are somebody that is social, or getting out, you're moving and shaking, and you're trusting yourself in the universe to bring you the love and the support that you want and need, okay? So Queen of Wands is a sign that, you know, either you or your person is very focused on your work as well. There's that work connection again, that's possible for some. But regardless, it's like this person feels like, you know, you're focused on your hobbies, or on your work, or even on your friends, and that you're not really that concerned with the relationship either. So when I mentioned, you know, a card ago about, you know, maybe you're cool with this Knight of Wands energy, I would just caution you to be honest with yourself, right? Are you really cool with that? If that's what you're telling yourself, if that's what you're saying, is your heart and your mind on the same page regarding that? Then if so, cool. Then your person is feeling that way about you, like, okay, they're cool with this. They're cool with the on again, off again, or with the casual situation, because they're more focused on their friends, hobbies, or work themselves. Others of you, this is your person who is, how do they feel about you? They feel like they're redirecting the energy back to themselves. I'm not ready to, you know, be in a relationship. I want to mingle. I want to get out there. I want to focus on my work and my friends. But whoever this Queen of Wands is, you know, it is like, I feel like, I'll just read it, you know, most who watch are feminines. Queen of Wands is a female, a woman. So with that being said, this person is feeling like you're the Queen of Wands, and they feel like you're not wanting to commit or in a position to do that or anything either, which is kind of interesting. They see you as very attractive. they do have very warm feelings for you. Queen of Wands is somebody that others are inspired by and look up to. So this person feels inspired and they look up to you. They do see something about you that is unavailable. So, and they don't feel like you do it on purpose. Maybe you don't even feel like you do it. Again, if this is describing your person, then it's describing your person. But for whoever, for what it's worth, your person, for some of you, thinks that you're the Queen of Wands and you don't set out to be this way intentionally, but you can be inconsiderate with your feelings and actions. So I'm going to keep it real, and that's what we're getting with that. So the True Love Reading Oracle cards that we got for you guys was the Creativity card. So how does this person feel about you? They feel like you're creative. That goes along with the Queen of Wands energy. I don't know if your work is creative or you're just a creative person. You know, the Queen of Wands is a master manifester. On the original, Rider-Waite-Smith, we see the black cat sitting next to the throne. We know that the black cat is associated, with the supernatural, mysticism and things like that. So maybe some of you, are witches or into the supernatural or things like that. Your person could be aware of that or feel that way about you. But this is, at the very least, if it has nothing to do with anything like that, it's about creativity. And since the True Love Reading cards by Belinda Grace, it's a deck that, I don't have memorized. So I'm going to go ahead and read from it. I'm just going to point out some things. So let me get that out. Creativity. And see how it relates. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Your likes do help the channel immensely. So with the Creativity card, it's number 7. Your world, I can read it. We get light. So it says your world offers endless possibilities and variety to be creative and enjoy them to your advantage and benefit. So basically this person sees you as a very abundant person. They feel like you're somebody that does trust themselves. I mean, this isn't just, you be a shy, meek mouse all you want, but according to your person, if this is your reading, they do feel this way about you, that you are an abundant and creative person. But the rest of what is being said here is being creative is not just about being artistic or inventive. It's about thinking outside the square and considering different approaches and attitudes. Being creative means that you can turn an ordinary day into a wonderful day by adding a dash of the unexpected. You have drawn this card today because there is never an excuse for excessive repetition or boredom in your life or in a relationship. Routine and habit have their place in life up to a point, but they can quickly dull your senses and enthusiasm. If you are currently seeking a partner, it will be beneficial to explore your own creativity in terms of your attitudes, perception, and expectations, even the way you listen. Interesting that I emphasized listen a moment ago, and I don't, like I said, don't have this card memorized, so did not recall that it said that. So yeah, there's something about adjustments with regard to communication in the realm of listening. It says look back over your life and consider where you could have been more creative. Notice your attachment to routine, predictability, or your ideas about how things should be may have affected your previous relationships. So it's just asking you to reflect on past actions, past results, and how creative you were or weren't, and revisit that. Think about what you could do differently from now on, and what habits or rules you might be able to loosen in the name of spontaneity and fun. Yeah, because this person's coming across as the fool. They're spontaneous fun. They think you're a fun person, but you could have gotten trapped in routine. The relationship could have gotten stuck in a routine. There's something here to do with a need for spicing it up with creativity. This person likes creativity themselves. They see it in you, but maybe you don't always utilize it, or you stop utilizing it at some point. Take it how it resonates. Apply the card how it resonates here. So in an existing relationship, it is often obvious where the rot of routine and fixed expectations have set in. This is your opportunity to be creative. Many people imagine that a certain amount of money is needed before meaningful creativity can occur. If you have fallen into this narrow mindset, then it's time to think again. Next time you go to the park or beach, just observe the children playing on the swings or collecting shells. You don't need to be wealthy to enjoy an abundance of creativity, so use your imagination and do something that will make you and your partner smile. So bringing creativity into your relationship can be as simple as going to a new restaurant, seeing a movie that wouldn't normally be your style, eating a meal in the garden instead of in front of the TV, or finally doing that special something you have been postponing. So this is what your person is wanting to see, or this is how they're feeling about you. Again, take it how it resonates and apply it, in whichever way you feel it is applicable. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'm moving on to group number 2. Welcome, my group number 2s. Thanks for tuning into your reading. I hope you guys are doing well. So, we're going to go ahead and get started here. This is just going to be an audio version today, as I mentioned to group 1. So, as always, take it how it resonates. Energies can be vice versa or interchangeable, so keep that in mind as I do the reading. So how does your person feel about you? First off, we're going to set the scene by I pulled a card for you and a card for your person. Okay, your person of interest, whoever you came to the reading for. The card that came out to represent the majority of viewers who chose group 2 is the Page of Swords. You can have strong air in your chart, but don't have to. You could be on the younger side as well, or you're in the heart with it being page energy. But regardless, your person of interest does have an interest in you guys. Okay, so, and this person definitely has noticed your existence. So if you're not yet a couple, then just, know that they have considered what it would be like to be in a partnership or relationship with you. So we're off to a good start. They could be watching you. This is the, in tarot, we call this the stalker card for fun, but it's really just about somebody being observant and observing you. At the very least, has considered you, right? They know you exist. You're off to, like I said, a good start. Possibly, watching you and also having thought about what it would be like to be in a relationship with you. But there is a chance that, whoever this is representing, because for some it could actually be describing your person's energy. I'll leave it up to you to decide based on how it resonates. But there is the chance that somebody here is, dealing with others who are putting negative thoughts in one's head. So there could be an individual around your person that is negatively or has negatively impacted how your person views you. So gossip, right? Somebody could have gossiped about you. Obviously, if that this is a crush or someone that doesn't have any people in common with you, and that nobody knows about you or whatnot, then that's not your message. It's not meant for you. But for those who know that you guys have people in common or whatnot, or that at least others around him know of your existence, there is a chance that there is somebody that has negatively impacted this person's view of you. So that basically somebody could be in their ear giving them false information even. And this could have caused, your person to, blow cold air at you, basically be cold towards you or distance themselves from you. So if they've distanced themselves from you, been cold towards you, just know it's possible that someone has tainted the well about you for some reason. Page of Swords can also show, some sort of a conflict as well. I don't know if you guys are in a conflict at present. It'll depend on who's watching. But this card's basically giving you advice, guys, just to know, when to push and when to back off, right? That's what the Page of Swords is trying to learn, because all of the Swords cards, represent warriors, basically. And Page is like the baby warrior. So still trying to learn, what battles are worth fighting and what battles are not worth fighting. So this card is kind of advising you to know when to push and when to back off. Many fights and discussions are not actually worth having. As long as your person is treating you with respect, you should, and you should just be aware that not everything deserves a reaction. And I would even go farther to say that nothing deserves reaction. Things only deserve, what you say they deserve as the creator of your reality, as the operant power. And nothing is right or wrong, but only thinking makes it so. Our thoughts create. So basically respond. Aim to really just sort of narrow it down, make it easy. Respond, don't react. Okay, guys? Allow your person to have his or her space. And because space is crucial for happiness, that's what this card is saying. Maybe you've even created a scenario where you guys are at a distance or in no contact. Subconsciously, you could have created that because, space is crucial to your happiness. A lot of times when people are aligning with or trying to align with somebody who has commitment issues, they subconsciously have those commitment issues themselves. And I've talked about that in previous readings as well. and I get that information directly from the card. That's not like a judgment. That's not like a value judgment on you or anything like that. It's just human nature, and it's important because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So if that resonates, then take that advice and use it to improve the situation, kind of reflect on what you need to do and what you want. So, and you know, regardless if you're introvert, extrovert, or whether you're a clingy person or a distant person by nature, you know, there's a certain amount of space is actually beneficial for happiness overall. So, but, you know, there was such a thing as being too distant. So if you are unattached, like if this is just somebody that you like, but you're not, you know, there's no like logical hope for connecting with them anytime soon, then you want to get out there and mingle. You know, love doesn't just drop out of the sky by itself. And who knows, you could even bump into this person if you do that. So you are being guided to do that. So with that being said, your person's card came out. It's the same card that came out for group 1, the Fool card again. So more Aquarian energy. Could be in somebody's chart strongly, doesn't have to be. But like in group 1, this shows that they probably aren't ready for commitment. You know, maybe not ready for commitment yet. I typically find that people are drawn to tarot readings, usually already know a lot of the things that I'm saying to them, although I do try to be as, you know, considerate with my words as I possibly can, because I know that, you know, depending on the situation, it can be a very sore subject for people. I've been doing this a long time in this channel, and I remember even so far as like a few years ago, somebody getting their heart broken by a reading, which should never be the case anyway, because you create your reality, and if something isn't, you know, all this is feedback telling you what you're in alignment with, and then you can use that information to shift it, to change it, okay? But I do like to, you know, just because I'm an efficient person in general, and I'm something to do in like the Vedic moon sign of Shadabijaj, which I am. We're like doctors in our communication style. When we care and we have work to do, we want to tell you what you need to know and just cut the BS and get to it. And so I'm just going to put that out there because, I don't know, sometimes people are sensitive. Like, I have a Pisces moon. I'm very sensitive, but like I have that Mercury in Sagittarius. So I'm like, I also know how to get to the heart of the matter, and like, shit, you know, and I just want that to be understood so that people don't get their feelings hurt, whatnot. So anyways, moving on. Because I feel like this is kind of a tough part of the reading, not gonna lie. And, you know, knowing that this person, I mean, I've kind of delivered some hard pills to swallow, knowing that maybe there's something subconsciously within you that is resistant to coming into alignment with your person, as in you're non-committal underneath as well, or you're just aligned with attracting non-committal people. We're seeing somebody here that is non-committal, and that, you know, you might have been pressuring this person, or others even could have tried to pressure this person to commitment, and they're just not having it. It's like the more you pressure them, if you did or if you do, just know this person ain't having it. It's going to push them further away. You know, there's nothing wrong with having fun, and this card is a positive sign for love, but there is nothing wrong with having fun. You know, I don't know why that's important to say. It just is. Like, people need to know that. You're more in line with your desires when you're having fun. Your person's having fun. I know that if you want them to be with you and committed to you, them being non-committal, you know, that's no fun for you, and I understand that. And I'm sorry if that's the case and if that's hurtful. But overall, this is a positive sign, like I said. And it does seem like, you know, this person is having a lot of fun or wants to have a lot of fun. Some of that could be with you even. And the desire for fun makes this person, you know, the type that can overlook, you know, real love if it should show up. So you could be the one for this person. They could even know that deep down. I doubt it with this energy, but they could. And still they're choosing to be non-committal, right? They're choosing their fun over the responsibilities and the possibilities of a relationship. So, you know, there could be a waiting period here, or maybe there already has been, because true love isn't always instant. It could be instant for one person and not for the other. Timing's a bitch sometimes. Again, there are reasons for that, deeper reasons that I'm not going to get into, because that's not within the scope of the video today. But it's just like, yeah, true love isn't always instant, it's often not. So it could be that this person snoozes on you, sleeps on you, and then loses you, and then that's going to be, it's going to be their loss, right? So that's what we've got there. How do they feel about you? We're getting to the meat of the matter. Their feelings of the Two of Swords. So this actually is, like, Two of Swords, when we get the Two of Swords, a lot of times we'll talk about, you'll hear other readers talk about how it's a block. So maybe there is a block. Maybe there's a mental block, communication block. Maybe they've blocked you on social media or vice versa. Yeah, that could be. But for some reason, with this particular reading group too, I was getting that it is a good omen for you, just like in general, romantically speaking. Especially for those who have been in a relationship with this person or are currently in a relationship with them, because this card can show that your relationship's going to, become lighter and easier and more balanced. So maybe for those odd few, because majority who watch aren't in a relationship with their person, but for the odd few, you are having fun with this person, and that's what the Fool card is all about. And for that, I commend you, because couples who have fun together stay together, right? Something like that. So anyways, at least in my experience. And I think empirically as well. So, yeah, your relationship, though, for those in a relationship with a person, it's going to move to a lighter, easier, more balanced phase. Where you're treating each other as equals. It's going to play a major role, like equality, which is good. And for others of you, or either or, regardless of scenario, even if you're in contact, or whether you're in contact or no contact with this person, this does indicate that your person feels like you guys are well matched. They feel like you guys are well matched, like, especially mentally wise. Like, this person does feel like you're well matched. So, but like I said, we often interpret this card, in terms of somebody's feelings. It's about them being like unavailable, emotionally unavailable, confused or standoffish with you. So it can mean that, neither one of you is willing to back down and admit that you're wrong. So this is how your person's feeling. They're feeling like neither one of you is wanting to back down and admit they're wrong. We got that Page of Swords energy, and when I talked about that, I said there could have been some sort of a conflict between the two of you, miscommunication, an argument, something, some sort of a conflict, right? Some sort of a friction. And whether that's the case or not, though, this is indicating like that when I say well matched, it means, yeah, well matched. That means well matched. Do I really need to explain it? I don't think I do. It means that you guys, like, there's no clear winner in the situation. And that can mean that you can go extended periods of time without communicating with one another, because people are not wanting to, admit that they are wrong or to back down. So, so some of you have been out of contact with this person for a while. And, if you are stubborn and this person is stubborn, obviously this is going to cause, if it's not already, it's going to cause problems in the relationships. That's something that needs to be addressed. Now, for others of you, I'm also getting to, because it's the Two of Swords and it has a lot of meanings. If love is escaping you, like if it's not just an issue with this person, but it just keeps happening, this similar scenario where like things seem to be going very well, and then all of a sudden you have to like watch them gradually pull away, or you do that where things are going well, and then all of a sudden you find yourself pulling away from the person. If love, just bottom line, if love keeps escaping you, it's time to take a good hard look at yourself to see, if you have any outstanding emotional issues that need to be dealt with first. And that could be what, this person realizes. They could be feeling that they need to do this. So they're taking a leap of faith away from love right now to work on themselves. And their idea of working on themselves is just like going on adventures and having fun, which I can't argue with that, because it just depends. I mean, that could be the medicine they need. I don't know them. It depends on their scenario. It doesn't, like, work in healing doesn't always need to be, hard, sweaty work. In fact, you get further in life when you go with the flow more. And so if you're a naturally stubborn person or anything like that, a fixed energy, then you're going to have a harder time learning certain lessons and healing certain situations as a result of that, until you learn that lesson, that you can lighten up and get more results, be more productive, have more success in whatever you're wanting to be successful in. But this can also say, since this is feelings towards you, that this person feels like you have some emotional issues that need to be dealt with first before this connection can come together, come back together, or progress, whatever the case may be. Because, just take it how it resonates, but with this card, it's like the message is people can smell desperation a mile away, right? It's a major turn off. Like, the more desperate that you are, whether you think you're being that way or not, your energy can tell that. Like, just imagine if somebody is in your life and they're just like, oh, I can't eat, sleep, drink, nothing, without hearing from you. You're going to be like, ugh. Even if you like that person, you're going to eventually find it a little cringy. And I'm not saying that you guys are doing that, though I suspect, since this message is coming through, at least somebody out there can resonate with that, needs to stop being that way. But even if you're not, if your energy is clingy, then that's another thing this person can be picking up on, and that will actually push them away, right? Because I've said it a million times on my channel, the more you tighten your grip, the more it slips through your fingers. So this person, for some of you, they're saying that they feel like, maybe you've been a little too needy of this or of them. And that's contributed to them, moving away from the connection, okay? So the message from Spirit, see, with this too, is that, like, a life partner just doesn't complete you, okay? That Jerry Maguire stuff is just for a movie, okay? Generally speaking, unless you rewrite the script and believe it, a life partner does not complete you. A life partner is the icing on the cake of your own complete life. So you shouldn't really be looking outside yourself for happiness. Like, this person in their full energy, whoever's in that full energy, they seem like they're somebody that's very content to look within themselves and create their own happiness. It's almost like this person is feeling like that's what you need to do too. And then the relationship that you truly want and need will come to you. More feelings. We've got the Temperance card. Somebody here could have strong Sagittarius in their chart. Don't have to. This house does this person feel towards group 2. Since you're watching this, you might wonder if your person of interest cares about you at all, right? Just based on up till this point, I feel like I've been doing a lot of tap dancing on behalf of this person, a lot of damage control on behalf of this person. So you might even be just wondering, like, do they even like you? Do they even care? Temperance foretells good feelings. It says that they do care, okay? That they do like you. Just be aware of the fact that your person they don't like drama. They don't like big displays of emotion. They don't like desperation, whether that's overt or like under the surface, right? This card seems to be telling you to try to control yourself in front of them. Make sure that they know that the relationship with you isn't going to be bringing toxicity into their life, okay? So the card that we got for you guys to clarify the reading from the True Love reading cards is Serendipity. So how else does this person feel about you? I'm going to read from the book on that. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate that. It does support the channel. Thanks to my patrons. I did put up some extendeds from a reading I did a couple of weeks ago. Feel free to check that out over on Patreon. And there are playlists linked down below for more readings, and check out Soulmates Tarot-scopes. Linked also down below for love outcome readings for July for you and your person of interest. And that does go by their sign, not your sign, okay? So Serendipity. All right, so trust that the journey is unfolding naturally and gracefully. Number 29. So how often have you wondered when? Uncertainty and waiting for your dreams to come true can be very frustrating. Most of the time we want what we want and we want it now. Like Veruca Salt from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I want it now. All right, so I'm saying somebody out there is like this, and your person is they're aware of it, and so that needs to be shifted. Maybe your person's like this, but take how it resonates. It says, yet we often look back on our lives and are able to appreciate the divine timing and serendipity that took place, right? As Neville Goddard would say, the bridge of incidents that take place, the birds before land, right? The signs that we get along our path. Timing is a key element of life, whether you are longing to meet your beloved or craving a renewal of your current connection. It's often difficult or impossible to understand why your needs remained unfulfilled at a certain time. You might even doubt yourself or become disappointed with the universe. Developing your ability to trust in the greater forces that nurture and guide you is an empowering skill to have. Make sure that you are genuinely committed to having, doing, or being whatever you have asked for. Sometimes the universe will protect you from your own naivete so you can have more time to think things through. Next, make sure that you have done all you can from an earthly human perspective to help make your dreams a reality. If you are procrastinating, how can you expect the universe to deliver? Once all of it is taken care of, it's time to trust that divine timing and serendipity have taken over, and be prepared to listen to and act upon your intuition. When you feel the urge to follow something up or have a sense of knowing, go with it to discover where it leads. Absolutely, you guys. That's one of the main ways to like learn about manifestation, because I know that, you know, some of the other readers were, you know, they talk shit on manifestation because they don't understand it or they can't do it, but they're doing it all the time anyway. They're just attracting stuff by default, a lot of it that they don't want. And I know that's true of just people who don't understand it in general, not just readers. And the thing is, it's so easy. Just do it. The proof's in the pudding. And figure it out for yourself, right? But beware that if you really have your ego fixed on proving something wrong, that law of assumption works that way too. It'll help you to prove that it doesn't exist when in fact that it does. So what I'm saying here is that if you have a strong urge, you know, follow it. And then you will notice that it leads you to something that you've been wanting. And if you do that every single time that you have, I have the urge to do this, like, even if it's something simple, like, do I go left or do I go right? Do I do, you know, this project now, or do I do this other thing now? And then, like, whatever your urge is, go with that urge, and then you'll find that it leads to something you've been wanting. You can call that following your intuition, you can call it following your urge, but this is a really easy way. I do this all the time. Like, the minute that you feel an urge to do something, that little question in your mind, like you're getting ready to do something, and then there's some other thing that like pulls your attention, and you're just like on the fence for a millisecond, like, why am I being pulled? I don't know why I'm being pulled to do this right now, but I'm going to do it. And then it ends up leading to the answer to a question, to an epiphany, to an experience, to something that you had been wanting. It's really fun and interesting when that happens. So this is what this card is saying, is that you know, just to make sure that you are working with, you know, the universe, like like Jerry Maguire when he says, help me, help me, help you. Like, the universe, this is the universe for some of you guys. Help me, help you, right? You need to help me help you by being open and available, and listening to your intuition and following those urges, to those subtle like urges and hunches that you get, right? This is how the universe is able to take care of you, make your dreams a reality. So don't hesitate, just act. When you get that urge to act, act. So be prepared to act on your intuition. When you feel the urge to follow something up or have a sense of knowing, go with it to discover where it leads. There are many steps on the path of your highest good, so be prepared for small miracles along the way rather than a big puff of smoke and total change. It happens little by little, and all the change comes from within you. Okay. So divine timing and serendipity give you time to reconsider, refine, and adjust. Then they add a dash of magic, so there is an element of the unexpected too. Life wasn't meant to be predictable, and your future is not set in stone. So learn to go with the flow and allow your fascinating journey to unfold gracefully. So a lot of this is kind of like reflecting how your person felt about you in the reading, you know, the reading that we just did. Okay, the reading of the tarot cards, right? So maybe listen back to the reading and see how this card resonates. Okay, so different messages, take it how it resonates. Thanks guys for tuning in. I'm moving on to group 3. Welcome group 3. Thanks for tuning into your reading. I hope you guys are doing well. So like I said to group 1, I don't know if I said to group 2, but I did say to group 1. I am just recording like an audio version of the reading because for one thing I'm exhausted, for another thing I have to be available for work, and so I don't really feel like setting up everything in my reading corner so that I can record this reading for you. But I did do the reading for you guys, so I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we're going to get started. So this is your person's feelings for you. How do they really feel? So your person of interest, the one on your mind. Remember, energies can be vice versa or interchangeable, so it's up to you to apply how it resonates. Just take what resonates and forget what doesn't. So the card that we got for group 3 to represent the viewer, so for the people who have tuned in to group 3, for whoever this reading is for, you got the 4 of Cups. You could be a water sign or have that strong in your chart, could be dealing with that, okay? Don't have to though. Bottom line with the 4 of Cups, yeah, this card is saying that you need to really look hard at yourself as to, whether you're being realistic with regards to love. So some of these messages today are very direct and to the point. So if you're, feeling pretty like super duper sensitive, You know, just be aware of that. I don't think I don't think it's anything too harsh, but like, I'm a very direct reader, so sometimes people can get their feelings hurt if they don't hear what they want to hear. I do this for a living, basically, so you know, I feel like there's a lot of value in the readings, or I wouldn't do them. So with that being said, yeah, you are coming up as Four of Cups. That's the guy on the cup who's sitting up against a tree, and he looks a little despondent. There's the universe offering him another cup, but he's just like bored and discontent. So this card is saying to look at yourself, you know, and see whether you're being realistic regarding love, since this is a love reading. Like, do you have your heart set, you know, on someone to the exclusion of everybody else? And if so, you know, how's that working for you? It's just asking you to evaluate that. And could this person that you're here for, is this someone who isn't giving you very much, you know, back in return, or is literally unavailable, like with somebody else, or you are, right? There's something here about just emotional unavailability. So at the very least, you could be finding yourself unhappy and discontent in your situation. So your person, how are they coming across? We've got the Ten of Cups. So this is a cup or a card of marriage and children. So marriage and children could be in the cards, right? Could be in the cards for you and this person of interest. Maybe you just know that, you sense that emotionally, intuitively, and that's why you're sticking it out, though you're not getting your needs met at present. Maybe you're just not ready to go there yet, or they're not. But I mean, we gotta say that Ten of Cups is an extremely positive card, and it does show the happy family on the front of the tarot card with the rainbow and everything. So it is saying that you know, that can be, you know, in the future for some of you, with, you know, between you and your person of interest. Okay, it could be also in the cards for you know, it could be, if like this card could be affecting you in some other way, affecting this connection. Like, are you married? Do you have children? Are they married? Do they have children? With other people, obviously, or maybe you're married to each other, right? But the majority who come here, you know, aren't in a relationship with their person, right? Because if you're in a relationship with your person, you probably don't need to come to a tarot reader. I talk to people all day long. I do tarot readings all day long. And the majority who come are not with their person, although we do get an odd few who trickle in who are with their person, but they're hitting a rough patch and they just want to know, you know, the future, what's going to happen. So either way, the Ten of Cups is here, and it's saying that marriage and children is or will affect the connection at present. This definitely shows either way that this is something that your partner wants. Your person of interest wants marriage, they want children, or they want that happy family scenario, whether they actually want children or not. They want, like, that family, that pretty family picture, okay? So, you know, if you feel the same way about that, like if you want marriage and children, if you want marriage and family, a happy family scenario, however that looks for you, you know, this card can even indicate, you know, that you don't have to worry about being open and honest about that if that's how you feel, you know, because this person wants the same too. I would again advise you that this is a general reading, so it's up to you to, you know, make that judgment call if that's something that you want to share. But this is saying, you know, if that's what you want too, then you guys could be on the same page in that area. You know, and if you guys are already at that level of commitment, like I said, for not few, you could already be in a commitment with this person. The Ten of Cups can predict, you know, a change of scenery, like a new home, something like that, right? But if you are struggling to achieve this type of relationship, or the type of relationship that you want, you know, this can mean that you're just maybe a little too eager to express your future plans with your person of interest, right? So I did pick up in group 2 that somebody was holding on too tight or sending off a needy vibe to their person, which whenever you do that, it pushes your person away, or it pushes away the thing that you're wanting. Like, if ever you're holding on too tight to something, regardless of what it is, then energetically you're pushing it away, because that creates resistance. So if that is feeling like you and you know it to be true, this is saying, yeah, maybe you want to you know, keep your future plans to yourself, especially if this is a newer connection. For some of you, your relationship could have or could get in the future really serious real quickly as well. Just know that if that happens, if a relationship gets too serious too quickly, then it can fizzle out. Maybe that's happened to you before. Maybe that's why, if you're the guy on the Four of Cups who's being a little reticent, is kind of like being a little reserved regarding this connection, you're just maybe being that way because you don't want that to happen again, because you saw that happen again, or saw that happen before, so you don't want it to happen again, where things escalate too quickly and then fizzle out. There's this potential for seriousness, though, regardless, because this is the Ten of Cups. It is showing that potential is there, but there is this need to be careful that it doesn't fizzle out. So, and basically this is like, how do you know, like, how to apply this card then with these different scenarios? Since I'm reading for different people, there's going to be different scenarios. All of it can apply to your situation, or only partially it can apply. But the bottom line is how do you know? Get to know your potential partners better. Get to know this person better. Even if you've been together with this person for 10 years, you still have more to learn with regard. You never stop learning each other. Okay. And I know that's for true because I see, like I said, do lots of readings every day, and many of them over the months and years that I've been doing this have been with people who have been in marriages and relationships, sometimes upwards of 10 years or longer, and they're coming to me asking, things, asking questions like, what does this person think? What does this person feel? And it's like, well, they feel like they can't communicate with you. And then naturally, this is the person that, is complete denial that, what I'm saying is true, and then like completely energetically blocks me and makes it very difficult to read. And it's like, see, you're doing to me what you do to them. You are blocking them and making it hard for them to get through to you. And then you wonder why you guys are having problems. It's just like, but how do you say that to somebody that's got their heels dug in and don't want to admit the truth? Because God forbid they should make any adjustments to themselves, right? But you can't change anything in your environment, in your world, in your reality without changing yourself. Again, it all comes from within. Shifts in your thinking, shifts in your feelings, shifts in what vibe you're maintaining and cultivating. So I say all this to say that there's always room to get to know somebody better. And because with this energy, it would be easy to get carried away into your fantasies of walking down the aisle and things like that, because is the Ten of Cups energy. So I think this explains a lot, like how your person feels. They feel like this has potential to be serious. They feel like this has potential to for them to get carried away into their fantasies, right? Or that you have the potential to get carried away. So this is how they're feeling. But bottom line, the Ten of Cups is usually a positive for love and relationship. Love readings, love and relationship readings, partnerships of all kinds. Like, this is a very positive card. Can't really overstate that too much. So even if it appears in a negative position, which I don't really feel like it is appearing in a negative position. I mean, this is how your person feels towards you. The Spirit is coming through with a lot of cautionary advice, which I feel is warranted based on the other cards. But so that's good. But bottom line is that this person, they do have feelings for you, could be very much in love with you as well. This card can be a sign, that if you think things are terrible with that Four of Cups, you being in that energy, this is a sign that things are definitely not as bad as you think, and you will still get the things that you want. So if you're worrying about this person or your romantic life in general, this is a clear indicator that you just really don't really have all that to worry about. Like, you don't have anything to worry about. You and your person are on the same page, essentially. Like, where it comes to goals for the future, whether you guys are ready to talk about that or not, when it comes to like your feelings and your heart space, you guys are on the same page. If you're in a relationship, but haven't made a formal commitment, and that you hope that formal commitment happens, just take heart and know that it absolutely is coming. Don't sabotage things by creating problems or causing problems where there aren't any, okay? And it still bodes well for those who are not in that, higher level commitment, or even in contact. If you're not in contact with your person, even, this still is a positive card. So some more feelings from your personality. That's your person's energy. I said that was their feelings. That's their energy. But Cups is a feelings card, like feelings element. So we can hardly talk about the Ten of Cups without talking about how somebody feels about you. But technically, how does this person feel about you? We've got the Eight of Pentacles for that question. So the first thing that, the Eight of Pentacles is kind of like a card of mastery, right? The Eight of Pentacles can mean that this person feels like they have mastered you. Like they have sort of a masterful understanding of your workings. Yeah, they could feel that. Your potential person or your person of interest, you know, they have probably learned or feel like they've learned, you know, the best way to deal with you. So if you are currently committed to your person, you're here because you have questions about how they feel, evidently, or you wouldn't be here. Meanwhile, they're feeling like they got y'all sussed out, all figured out. So also, this is a card of like homework and money because it's pentacles. So it could be indicating that like work and other practical details of life are interfering with the connection. Okay, so we can be too focused on work and money or some other practical details. So if that is the case, then this card's saying, you know, to make sure that, you know, if you're the one, for instance, who's really hyper focused on work and stuff like that, or some other interest, you need to make a point to make time and space for the relationship, regardless of your jobs. You know, otherwise the relationship will suffer or continue to suffer. If you guys are like no contact, low contact, if you're not really a couple, then, you know, this card is just kind of indicating that maybe, you know, like I said, you're too focused on your money and what you do for a living. And so you really need to create space in your life for a new relationship. So start thinking about what that would be to have the relationship that you want with this person. You need to visualize that. Live from the end, as Neville Goddard would say. Feel the feelings of having what you want now. You really need to see it. You really need to picture it. That really works, you know. And you need to make room for your, like, in your life, right? You know, to have the kind of relationship that you want. It's one thing to say, you know, I have this fantasy of me and my person of interest being together, but you actually like do nothing in your present day life to make room for that person. Like everything about your life is very singular, and you don't need to buy like a house with a 2-car garage because you need a second garage, one for your partner's car if you don't have a partner, right? But it would help. I mean, I'm just saying, you need to think about it. You don't have to go ahead and physically do that, but think about being in a relationship and what it would be like, and get your mind there, because again, what you think about, you bring about. So some of you aren't even thinking about it. Like, you just have this fantasy of being in a relationship maybe, or this fantasy of this person and whatever it is that you want with this person, because maybe you're watching and you don't want to necessarily be in a relationship with them, but you do want something from them because you're watching, right? So whatever it is that you're wanting, you kind of have this idea, but you don't really spend any time sort of investing in that, like physically, but more importantly energetically, in terms of how you're thinking about it. So Spirit is asking you to create space, you know, in your mind, your heart, and your life for this relationship. You know, consider your priorities and where your time and energy goes, because it would change, right? How would that change if you have this person in your life on a regular basis? When you're in a relationship, like the way you're spending your time and energy is affected. So how does that look, right? And then start living from that end. So if you want love with this person, make sure you have room for it in your heart and your home and however else, right? But mostly in your mind, and you start visualizing what that looks like. How else does this person feel? So this could be this person feeling that way about you, right? That's advice from Spirit, but goes both ways. This is this person needing to make room for you in their life. Because like I said at the start, energies can be interchangeable or vice versa, so apply how it resonates. How does this person feel? We got the Knight of Cups. This is a very, very positive card. So you've got 2 really positive love cards here, guys. And I am happy to say it because you've got the 10 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Both of them are very positive cards, and we're asking about how somebody feels about you. So this is a very positive card. And especially when you're asking about love, right? Which is what you're doing here. If you are technically single, this card can show that, you know, there is someone that's about to sweep you off your feet. Since we're talking about your person of interest, I suppose you have somebody on your mind. You came to the reading to ask how they feel. You must know who they are. How do they feel? They feel like sweeping you off your feet. If you're in a relationship with this person, you know, this can show that there is this final commitment in marriage. So this person does see you as somebody that they can settle down with. Unlike previous readings, like the previous 2 readings, the person was not in the headspace of commitment. This person is in the headspace. Like, they are thinking about having a commitment, getting married. Like, this is somebody that has that on the radar. And you are someone that is also on their radar. So just know that this is in this person's heart space. So it's a good sign if that's what you're wanting too. You know, at the very least, you know, in context of love, this card means positive messages, you know, and things that you would like to hear. So this person is going to be communicating with you, making some sort of an affectionate offer towards you, right? So be open to exploring your feelings. This person feels like being open to exploring their feelings with you. You know, and as a feeling, it means that this person, your person of interest, you know, basically, I'm just going to say it, some of you, this person is in love with you. We've got the Ten of Cups, we've got the Knight of Cups. How does this person feel about you? They could feel like the relationship's work, or will be. They could feel like they're really focused on building something, you know, building their bag, working on their money, but they also feel like they are in love with you, okay? So obviously, if this is somebody that you haven't, you know, that you haven't formally been introduced to or haven't talked to in 20 years or anything like that, you know, take it how it resonates. But even then, I've seen some pretty miraculous things, like people can be loving you and you haven't even talked to them in forever. And then, you know, later on, I've seen so much, you guys. Like, since I've been a little girl, I've basically been the counselor for everyone around me in their love situations. And like, I've been given pretty great advice beyond my years, if I do say so myself, since I was literally, like, I remember counseling my aunts when I was like 9 or 10 years old and being their sounding board and like learning from them. And I was always asking the right questions to like pull out what I need to pull out from them for them to reflect upon to figure out their stuff. So I really like doing that for people. It's always been a natural thing for me. So I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily mean that that your person, if your person doesn't love you, if you fall in the category of somebody that hasn't been in touch with them and hasn't been in touch with them for a long time. Because what the Knight of Cups is saying, for a lot of you, this person is in love with you. They do want romance. How do they feel about you? They feel like having romance with you. They feel like contacting you, saying sweet things to you, nice things to you, being affectionate with you, buying you flowers, giving you something. They do want to, you know, take you out on dates and send you cute little text messages. The Knight of Cups is very loving. So that's a very good sign for how this, in terms of how this person feels about you, or whether they act upon it or not. I think they feel like acting upon it. I think they want to put in the work, if they're not already, on putting the effort in towards coming towards you. Okay. So go ahead and hit that like button, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. It does support the channel. Thanks to my patrons and everybody. If I haven't already said so, I appreciate you guys. Final card is the Reparenting Yourself card from the True Love reading cards. I'm going to read from the book on that. So this is the Reparenting Yourself card. So how does this person feel about you? So this could be how your person feels, like that they need to reparent themselves. You could feel like you need to reparent yourself, or that you're doing that, okay? So we'll see if I can find it here. Here it is. So it says, free yourself from the past so you are more able to give and receive love in the present. Some of the most difficult things to let go of in life are the emotional hurts and disappointments from childhood. As adults, these old wounds can block us and hold us back, or cause us to repeat unhealthy patterns in our relationships. Naturally, we all know that it is impossible to go back and change what happened in the past. Maybe you have tried resolving the issue with the person or people concerned, or maybe you aren't even sure what it is that still weighs you down. I feel like some of you, this is the Eight of Pentacles, this is your person's energy. But what are they focusing on? What are they really working on? I think that they are really working on healing their childhood wounds. Some of them are avoiding their childhood wounds through work, though. So keep that in mind to determine which it is for you and your person. Maybe people assume that childhood wounds only arise after serious mistreatment, such as violence in the home. But the truth is that it's often the less dramatic things that leave the greatest impression. Something like a parent being stuck in a hospital on your birthday, or a sibling who always did better at school than you, for example. This card can come up for you today because your child aspect needs you to care for and reparent it. Now, even if you aren't aware of any specific experience or hurt, your child aspect is saying, I need you. So follow the steps of the simple exercise in the following page in order to enjoy a profound experience of healing and deep connection with the innocent child, loving child inside. This will help you be more open to loving and being loved as an adult. Okay. Well, I wasn't planning on reading them. Thank you guys, but I really can't. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy or bandwidth to read that whole next section to you guys. But bottom line with this is your person is feeling that there's some reparenting that needs to go on. So we did see earlier in your reading for group 3 that it was talking about, maybe the tendency to get too serious too quickly. That would indicate like some attachment trauma, some attachment issues, right? And people who are anxious attachment style, for example. And all of these keywords or these terms that I'm bringing up here, you can type them in the search bar on YouTube, and there's a wealth of information, including on how to reparent yourself. So go ahead and look that up, guys, because if you feel that resonates, if you feel like this is something that you're the one that, definitely has had these issues that need to be addressed, then go ahead and address them. If you feel like this is describing your person, then this is just more information for you to go on. This person feels like they have work to do on themselves, but they do love you. This is what I've got for you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you next time.